So here we have the high-grade Zock in aquatic commander style suit. It's present in Jaburo in the original anime, very briefly, but it's a fan favorite. The very interesting thing about this kit is that it's dual-sided, meaning symmetrical on both sides. The arms have no differentiation between up, down, left, right. Legs are completely symmetrical, and there's a mono eye on either side. It's actually supposed to be one mono eye that goes around on a singular rail, but I put both in just so I don't have to move the mono eye all the way around for display. So my friend actually picked up this guy for me in Ottawa, I believe, back when these were a bit harder to find. Now it's pretty easy to find a Zock, but yeah, at the time they were a little bit more difficult to come by, and he knew I would want it, so he grabbed it. It's a bit of a bigger box, and it's a bit of a bigger kit. So just if you're not familiar with this kit, my camera's not more zoomed in than normal, I believe. This is just a much bigger kit than normal. Here would be your normal Gundam, and there would be your Zock. So very much a boss, commander type. Will be very fun to see in the tabletop game how they adapt units like this. So in terms of mistakes on this guy, I actually came over to my friends for a paint day, and I didn't want to fully paint this thing and prime it, so I just dry brushed two different greens over it, and initially it looked really ugly, and still kinda, I think it looks a bit ugly. But once I give it a brown wash, it almost give it like a watercolor look, or like hand painted, like the movie posters or something. Got a little Xeon decal there. One issue I do have is in the way I applied and I guess cleaned up the brown wash. This was one of my first times really like washing a full model or covering it with an ink wash. And some spots, I didn't really hit where they should have been hit, and some spots kind of got too dirty. I kind of think the claws are the most egregious example. Like, it just kind of got stuck at the line there, right? And so if I close the claws, you can very clearly see. I could build up more dirt in there and just dirty up these claws more, but the claws, I think. And then I got, green dry brushed on the claws that I never cleaned off. This was before I really knew that you could just take acrylic thinner to acrylic paint and wipe it right off. I kind of thought it'd be a more arduous process, or that it would be a lot messier, but no, it's just Q-tip, and you can clean that up. Now I couldn't. This is top coated, but at the time, I could easily just paint over these claws, though. Fix that up. The freehanding that I did on here, I've never freehanded on a model. I don't do miniature painting much, and so I thought this guy's a big canvas. The bound dock, which I did as well, as a big canvas piece. I like using these bigger models to just like put stuff on, as many decals and or freehand or whatever. So for the I actually matched this to an Arizona can. I like pulled up a picture of an Arizona can and tried to get like the branches going the exact same way, and you can, maybe I'll try to crop the part of the Arizona can I used and put it here, but it's supposed to be evocative of an Arizona 99-cent iced tea can. It would actually be very funny to get like a 99 decal right here. I think that'd be really good. I used oil paints for the branches because I thought that would just give an interesting, like maybe like a Japanese painting look to it. I don't like more of a look of the can, right? Less of like an acrylic black brushstrokey look. Something that I could kind of smear and blend as I like tried to shade the white parts of the branch a little bit more, and it didn't really work out. Like, it's so obviously not. But I've never really been much of a painter since like high school, so this is like you can't just expect to be good at something just because you have the uh, the materials on hand, right? Like use this as a practice canvas, and it definitely looks a little bit practicey. But I went in for the flowers with this airbrush paint. With I just used a normal brush and squid pink, so it's supposed to be evocative of like Squid Game pink. When this is mixed up, it's all kind of split right now, but. And so that was the flowers and the bulbs, and then I kind of just lightened up that paint with some white for the accents or the highlights of the flowers. Now I think from afar, like on a desk, this looks really nice. Like my big problem with the freehanding here is that it's not weathered with the rest of the piece, right? So I brown washed it and then I painted over top of it, and I could have brown washed again over top of it to kind of like pull it all together and make it look like it's dirty with the model. But I kind of like what I did, so I didn't want to mess it up too much. But I think that would have helped it. Although when I posted this on Twitter, someone said it looks like it's like an old mech that got put in a playground or something after the war and got painted on. And I think that's like a nice story for it. Like kids jumping off of this thing because it's you know a kid would maybe only go up to the top of my finger here or something like that. But then it does make you think, how did they get that paint up there? But you know. So I really want to freehand something on the other side. I think I had like an idea originally that like this would be the peaceful side, right? Like a nice Arizona iced tea can, blossoms, cherry blossoms, and then on this side would be a canvas for something else, like something like like Xeon propaganda or something crazy like that. But I haven't really figured anything out yet, and I moved on to the bound dock for this same sort of idea, and I think that one worked out a little bit better. I could go in and weather all these red parts too to make them look more convincing with the body here. Now, I didn't seam line remove the top here. I should have done it on the arms, but I didn't do it on the top here specifically because this kit has a feature where you can pull off the front panel and see the mono eye rail and everything underneath. And actually the beak here, you can see that I put paint on the metallics under there and kind of dry brushed a lighter metallic over top of that. And so that internal is all painted in there if you were to open it up. And actually, it's a pretty light gray for the eye track, so I painted that black just so that the mono eye would stand out. But the mono eye is such a clear yellow with no sort of like metallic backing that now it kind of gets lost in the black from afar. But it is still there. If it were replaced with an LED, this would be perfect because there's a lot of room for an LED in this kit. And I've seen people do crazy things with this kit, like add mechanical parts or have it spinning or moving, or the eye moving on like a joystick track. I've seen someone had the eye actually rigged up, and that was insane. But yeah, short one this week. I'm just getting over a cold. I'm really grateful you guys are enjoying the boat videos. Those are performing well. You know, not too concerned about the performance per se, but I am very excited that you guys are responding to that stuff. Check those out if you haven't, because I'm actually really excited for the update this weekend. There's a lot of good stuff going on with that boat, so stay tuned for that. And the next Modeling Mistakes is actually on a non-Gundam model for the first time. It's still a mecha, so alright. Take care.